Imagine whipping through your city or your town or whatever on a little electric scooter, beating the traffic, whatever, because you're allowed to go on the sidewalk depending on your jurisdiction. And in most jurisdictions, even though you're not allowed, no one's going to stop you. So what I got here is an EcoRoad EC8. They have an EC6 as well that's a little cheaper, but it doesn't have some of the features this one has, so we can start talking about those. Down here, you've got dual rear suspension. The little suspension coils are hidden behind here. You've got, over on this side, a brake light. And if you pull the brake lever, it actually flashes, so that kind of lets people know that you're stopping, I guess. Kickstand down here. This is where your feet go. It's very dirty because that's where my feet go. Bell check. Comes with this little bag too. This bag is kind of cool because you can put your charger in there to keep it with the scooter at all times. One of the cooler features that this scooter actually has is the turn signals. Except I broke this one. There we go. Nope. Okay, there we go. So one of the cooler features that this scooter has is the turn signals on the left and on the right. If you come over here, you can see the display. So it tells you if you got your headlamp going there, headlamp off. You've got your battery indicators. So there's 5 bars. We're at 4 out of 5 bars. You can change it from walking mode. So this is if you were walking it somewhere and it was just too heavy and you're too much of a, anyways, and you couldn't push it yourself, you can do that. You've got eco mode, which limits it to 15 kilometers an hour. You got drive mode, which limits it to 25 kilometers an hour. And you got sports mode, which lets it hit its maximum speed of 30 kilometers an hour. Although I will say this motor here is a 350 watt continuous, 450 watt peak motor. And I am certain it could go faster than 30 kilometers an hour on flat ground if it wasn't governed. So we just kicked off here. Oh, it's bumpy. That phone is not staying on. All right. I'm worried now. Okay, so we are going here. That was pretty sketchy in terms of the phone placement, so I'm not doing that on the way back. Yeah, shout out to the MagSafe charger I use because that held. You know, it's reasonably cold out, and that's not good for the motor and the battery's performance. And speaking of performance, we can get into that now. They claim it has a range of 25 kilometers or 29 or something. It doesn't really matter because they test that in such weird, you would never hit their maximum thing on most of these. But I can't really tell you what I've been getting because it's so cold out most of the time. It's not really indicative of its real performance. And also I didn't track it, so. But I've been getting, like I drove it around yesterday for 2 or 3 hours, up and down hills and whatnot and whatever. Turn this headlamp off for now. One of the really cool things about this scooter, which is really important for most people who are really going to be using it, because I don't think for most people this wouldn't replace your car in any way or form. It's not fast enough to hit like speeds like that on the roads, but more importantly, it doesn't really have the distance or whatnot. But for trips that are too short to warrant a car but too long to walk, I think this is great. I'm going to be using it while I'm up at school for stuff like that, getting groceries and whatnot. But if you do have a car, which I do not, you just unclip that there, drop this down here, and then it's 29 pounds, so there we go. Now come here. This is a pretty standard stand, and we'll start right now too. A little bit like so. Damn it. Okay, I don't feel like doing it in front of the video because I'm trying to keep this going while the light's going, but trust me, you can see it will fit very easily if I just maneuver it. I'm not going to do it though because my hand is very cold touching this metal because it is very cold out. But you can imagine it would go in the trunk, and if you need proof, shut the fuck up.
Drive off with it.
All right, good idea. All right, and that's it for this review, and I hope you enjoyed it.